Okay, so the sunk cost fallacy. This is something that I was just explaining to Luba because obviously this word is not in your English vocabulary, right?
But I thought that you say sunk cost, and I was like sunk cost, and I was like
The sunk cost
sunk
fallacy,
cost.
right?
Okay.
It can be related to anything, right? And I'm just going to read a little excerpt here, right? So, and this is going to apply to a lot of guys who have gone down the wrong path when it comes to trying to meet women from Ukraine, okay? The sunk cost fallacy is a logical fallacy that entails sticking with a losing or failed venture because you have already invested a significant amount of time, money, or other resources that you can't get back. This is a problem in failing relationships, right? And any of you guys have been have been in relationships, you may have some thoughts, and I know that I had these thoughts back in my long relationship that I had back in the West, was that I've already invested so much time and money into this relationship, trying to fix it, even just the cost of living and helping her and trying to make her life better, and she had a kid and looking after the kid and all that sort of stuff. You think, I've spent so much time and money on this that I can't get that back, so I have to kind of keep going.
Is it like the phrase also related to that, like better to keep it than
It's cheaper to keep her.
to keep her?
It's cheaper to keep her. Yes, they're saying. Kind of.
Yeah, but not
kind
really.
of. But also, it's like, gamblers experience this problem where they spend $2,000 betting on a machine
And they think in certain point.
Yeah, and they think, I've already spent $2,000. I need to keep going to get my $2,000 back, or to get my money's worth of this, right? So the sunk cost fallacy is what we see a lot of guys when it comes to going down the wrong path. They're trying to find a woman in Ukraine that they want to have a relationship with. They go down this letter writing path, right? We don't talk about this stuff a lot on our channel anymore, but we see this happening, and we see guys bouncing backwards and forwards. So they understand that it most likely is fake in their own eyes, especially if they've talked to us, or they've watched our videos, or they just understand that it's kind of bullshit and the money has just been thrown down the toilet.
At the beginning, I think that they don't think that it is fake.
No,
then
of
they
course.
get to the point when they understand that it is fake.
Yeah,
Then they talk to us.
But even so, they may think that it's not fake. There is a chance, because the one I found, there are some real ones out there, and this is the real one. They all seem to think that they want to see this. They want to see it. They want to see it through. So they don't want to throw away the $5,000, the $10,000, the $20,000, whatever that they've spent so far on writing these letters to a woman that they will hopefully one day meet. So they have to keep going, because they have to see it through to the end. And we've seen this actually with clients of ours who were letter writing. Not even just clients, but even people we've had coaching calls with, and we tell them that it's bullshit, that it is fake.
And they don't want to believe in that.
Yeah, and they still think that, but I've spent like $5,000 or $10,000. Like, I need to, maybe Stryker and Luba are wrong on this one, right? There's that chance that we're wrong. Hey, maybe we are wrong. Maybe there are some success stories from this, but your chances are like practically zero. Practically zero. But because you've dropped that amount of money into it, you don't want to be caught up in this fallacy, which is the sunk cost fallacy, which is, it's not real. Just because you've spent a certain amount of time and money and energy and you've wasted your emotions on it, it doesn't mean that the likelihood of it being successful. What?
They can't. They wanted to sneeze so bad and they can't.
We'll do it now. You've invested time and energy into the sneeze, and if you don't sneeze, this is part of the sunk cost fallacy. Can we keep going?
Sorry.
So, where was I before your...
I'm sorry, I just can't. I was thinking.
She's been sneezing all day, and it's been very annoying for me. So, there's a sunk cost... So, it doesn't matter what you've spent before. If you're doing something that's never going to have a result, it doesn't... you can't get back that money. It's time to... The old saying goes, to cut your losses, right? And then move forward on it. We wanted to make... Yeah, but we wanted to make this video because we see it a lot, and it's this whole letter writing stuff that goes on out there. Like, it really seems to be addictive for the guys, because they're getting some sort of validation through, they're paying money and they're getting something in return. They're getting validated in return, right? And that's what it's all about. Like, it's designed to be this way, right? So you pay a bit of money, or a lot of money, and you get sucked in, and then you get this validation that this young, beautiful woman sees me for who I really am as a man. No one else can see this for me, blah, blah, blah. And they feed into that, right? And then eventually at some point in time, you'll realize that this is not going to happen. But this is where the sunk cost fallacy comes in, right? So you've spent too much money on it to let it go to waste. So yeah,
We agreed with Stryker that we don't want to do the scam videos and like discussing all of that stuff. But you know, sometimes like I think the last one we did like in summer when we've been in Dania, and but sometimes we have these calls and it's like the amount of the guys who've been like victims of these situations, like it's enormous. It's really enormous. And I do believe that a lot of guys, they are thinking that we're wrong. They think that we're wrong, that we don't know enough, and it's better to do it. And at the moment, like what I want to say in this video is that unfortunately now with the war, the situation become even worse. Like winter was always known for the period of time when there was like the letter writing was much more active because it's cold, you know, nobody is going out, you sit at home, you want to chat with somebody, you want to believe that you're talking to this like super beautiful like young lady, and you for some reason even forgetting that, you know, like it's not that even this girl is out of your league. It's just like it's impossible like that this girl is sitting there and like writing these letters, and the guys forgetting that, you know, this website, they don't have access for the girls to write, and etc etc etc. But you know, everybody try to take advantage when they have a vulnerable client, right? Like so, and at the moment the vulnerability is going to this point that, you know, some of the dating websites selling generators.
yeah.
And like we didn't want to discuss that, but now I just felt that, you know, like
They're selling. They used to sell flowers, chocolates.
chocolates.
Now they sell
it's like
US.
blankets, it's like and power banks and stuff that is not even being delivered. And so I just don't want you guys, like if you're watching us and you're not our client, that's okay, but please just open your eyes and like like you need some like help, you need some hand of help, we are there for you. Like we do not we don't need like it's not that we don't need, but everybody who is calling us, as strikers say, they're not our clients, but we just want to help you and tell how it is. When we used to work in Ukraine and when we was doing the tours, like some of our guys been calling us and say like, I want to do it, I'm serious, I want to sign up, but, and we already knew what he's gonna say. He will say that I've been doing letter writing and there's a girl, you know, in Kiev that I really want to meet, and like, what do you think? Is it possible? Can you help us? Can you help me to find her? We were always giving them an advice, like we with Stryker at the beginning, like with the first clients, was like, no, it's bullshit, it's scam, don't do it. And then we realized that it's like with the child, you know, it's a little bit like you have to give him this, like, okay, let's do it, I will help you, but you have to be, as an adult, you have to be with your child, right? I'm sorry for this comparison, but this is how like I was feeling, that okay, we can't tell you, okay, do whatever and then come to us. No, I will be there for you and I will help you, I will assist you. So what we were doing, if the lady was there, we was telling, okay, tell her that you have your own interpreter, that you have your own assistant, and that you want to come on date, and see if she would agree. 99.9 was saying that, nah, I'm not feeling comfortable with your interpreter, I want to come with mine. And there's a reason for that, guys. You know, if you don't know, send us a message on the Telegram, I will explain. And the second is that sometimes like one of the guys, he knew where the lady works. He was messaging with her for 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years, every day messaging, sending photos. And he find out where she works, like somehow, and it was in Zaporozhye. And we, so she was not in any of our partner agencies, like she was just there, and we was there because like we have very high success rate with this city, with this, with our partners. And so we went there, like we was walking, it was very hot, and we went to this restaurant. And he was like, you can't see, he was shaking. He like so much wanted to see her, and he was so much wanted to say, hello, it's me. Like, and she didn't even know him. She was looking, and it was like she has amnesia, you know, but she actually never knew him. And that was the pain that we were experiencing. But we were always supporting our clients to meet, or at least to try to meet these ladies, to be able to see that on your own eyes. Because whatever we say, like guys, sometimes don't trust. But what Stryker's saying is very right. It's better to get out of this situation earlier than later. And that is what we want you to know, that this is still happening. This is still happening with other guys. Maybe it is still happening with you. And again, like if you need us to help you, message us, call us, and we'll be there for you.
Yeah, I guess to summarize, like whether you're in an actual relationship, like a real relationship where you've been married, maybe you have kids and all that sort of stuff, or whether you've just been doing something like letter writing, whatever, the sunk cost fallacy is real. And it's the fact that you can't walk away now because you've invested so much time, energy, and emotions and money into it. And one thing that we realized earlier on, a couple of years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, whenever it was when we first started, is that when we tell guys the truth about the letter writing, they go through the same emotions as if they're in a real relationship. You know, we break them up. We've had guys like on the verge of tears. One guy was so upset because when I realised that, hang on a second, I've just broken this guy up with his girlfriend that he believed in, that he was in a relationship with. That then and there, when he realised it, it's the same emotions inside the man that it goes through. But you have to trust us when we tell you that, you know, Luba worked in this industry for a long time. You know, we've spoken to many guys, probably hundreds. I'd say, I don't know, it would be hundreds who've been letter writing, but a lot of guys anyway that have been letter writing. And there's never been one good result. You know, the topic of the video is not letter writing, but the sunk cost fallacy. It can be related to anything when it comes to a relationship. At some point in time, you have to say, okay, what I have done, I cannot get anything back for it. It is done. It is finished. It is time to cut my losses and it is to go. But take what you learnt, right? You take what you learnt
your
with
experience,
you.
and your experience is priceless, and it's related to any sphere of your life. If you go to different interviews, you're getting experience. If you're getting in different relationship, yes, of course, time, money, emotions, everything you investing, but you getting out with a great experience that if something bad happened in that relationship, it would not happen in a new ones. But be able to step away. That is very difficult. Like it's a little bit even like drug. You know, it's a little bit that you want it again. You think that next time.
It's like dopamine.
It's like, okay, the next time or maybe tomorrow. And we all experience that. We all experience that one way or another. Sometimes we eat chips and we think, okay, I will eat one more and then I will stop. And then until the back is like empty, like we can't stop. But I think that we are stronger than that. We're stronger than these like little moments when we feel weak. And in this point, I believe that you need a support. Like this is what I believe in, that you need a support of a friend, of a coach, of a matchmaker if you want to meet somebody, of somebody that will be really not just telling what you want to hear, but will be very sober about that and will be able to help you and take you out there.
I'll say this, I just thought about it then, is that there are some guys that do need letter writing. And I know that's sort of very counterintuitive of what we do or counterproductive, but like I can think of a few.
For some time, you mean, or?
Well, I just think that like sometimes for some men, in some situations, I wouldn't say it's okay, but it's all that they have. Like I remember, it was the guy that wrote the most amount. Remember, it was like $320,000 over like 15 years, and he wouldn't even put his camera on to show what he looked like. But no matter what we told him, we said, look, it's fake. He would just, no, not this one. This one's not fake. I've been writing to it for like 9 years or something on a website. He spent all of this money, and it was at the point, and he was an older guy, like 70 something, and she was, I don't know, like in her 30s or 40s or something. And no matter what we said, like this
he was
really
denying everything,
basically telling us that we were wrong. But he was, and I think he came over there for an evening. Do you remember? He said that he'd been writing to her for years. He flew into Kiev. She met him for an evening, and then when he left, she told him he still has to continue to write. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely, and it was like, no matter what we say, nothing is going to change it. And for him, who maybe he'd never been married, I can't remember, at that point in his life, and if he has money, I mean, for him, like, what else is he going to do?
If it is like if it is easier for him, if it is easier, like, and.
But I think he knows. Sorry, I think that he knows that it's fake. But it's like, okay, it's fake. It gives me some joy.
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't think that the majority of the guys are like that. So guys, there's better ways to do that. And I don't want you to be caught on this, like, it's a different topic, but I don't want you to be caught on this, like, oh, it's so cold, there is no power, oh, it's that. I'm not making fun of that, no way. Like, my family, my friends are there, we support them as much as we can. But like on these websites where the ladies doesn't even have an access to that, like somebody is doing that, just sucking the money out of you, like milking the cow. Like, do you want to be that cow? I don't think so.
And the power bank, you sent me the power bank that it was, and I had a look online for the power bank.
It's like 3 times or 4 times cheaper.
Yeah,
like because I did like without joke, like I did deliver a power bank and some flowers to one of our ladies from our client. I did it, like, but I did it. I bought it from the website. Like for a reasonable price. It was not easy to get because like they ran out of them. We found it and then we delivered to that. Like yes, but like 4 or 5 times more expensive, like than it's on the market. Like it's ridiculous.
One thing you have to understand about these Ukraine dating websites, most of them are not even hosted or even Ukrainian companies, okay? So just think about that for a second. They're not Ukrainian companies. The websites are not hosted in Ukraine. The people managing the girls are not Ukrainian or from Ukraine, right? There's nothing really about it that's Ukrainian at all. from many of them, because they're all scams. There's nothing about it to do with Ukraine. Maybe in the URL in the domain name something Ukraine, but they're not even. They're in like Latvia or Moldova or some island somewhere where it's hosted, where it's not going to get taken down. So yeah, just anyway, we don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but yeah, just remember that the sunk cost fallacy is real. Google it. It's a psychological problem.
We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.